Well, hello YouTube, here we are, and welcome to another Maxwell's Mind episode. Well, a lot of stuff is changing. A lot of this town is changing. This town is quieted down from, well, a lot of what it used to be. Even as recent as 6-8 months ago, it's changed. There's a few businesses that have closed the doors, but at the same time, there's a few businesses that have opened their doors as well, which most definitely is a bonus. It means that there is going to be some kind of jobs opening on up. It's just a matter of, if you choose to go there and apply at those jobs. You never know, you might be the person they're looking for, and it all turns out fine. Well, I'm still hanging on, facing new challenges now. The truck was one of the challenges in the past that I faced and overcame. Well, facing new challenges now, new way of surviving and paying bills. I can't believe the cruelty of companies out there. The extent they will go to, I don't know how to say it correctly, but the extent they will go to make contact with you and get to be noticed. Don't they realize by them doing what they've done or what they do, all it causes you to have more stress? And basically what it does is it's almost an inability to they pay your bills is what they cause. And it's like, don't they realize that if they work with you, then things could have got back to normal? I was looking forward to my first month with a little bit of money free to start paying off some of my debt. However, they go and do what they do, and it puts a huge crimp in production, makes everything stand still, and then they still want then they still want what they were after. Well, if they would have let things be the way they were, then things would have been done. But obviously, they had other plans. They want to show their superiority or justify their fancy corner office, or however that might work. Well, people are still up to their gotta make money no matter what the situation is. Still getting break-ins, still having issues with car thefts, vehicle thefts, whether it's complete vehicles or contents. The local police force is doing their best to curb some of these people, but at the same time, the people that are being caught are the honest ones, the ones that really didn't want to do it, the ones that only did it because, well, they needed the money, or they got suckered into it because they owed money to people. I myself have been stretched to the limit in the last little while, and when you're stretched to the limit, you start considering other options that you may or may not have thought of in the past. Debt collectors, of course, are they're having their heyday. This is the time in the economy where the debt collectors love, because this is where they make their money. They go and they seize your assets. They, kick open your door, put a padlock on your door, ruin families, take away, houses, take away vehicles, all because of simple, invisible money that doesn't even exist, money that's totally make-believe. It's all a fake system of monetary gain. Something that somebody made up sometime just to, it's like they were bored and wanted to see how far it would go. Of course, a lot of us are pushed to our limits. Again, we've done what we can do to survive, we've done what we can to pay these people, and there's only so much you can pay these people before you end up broke yourself and unable to pay people. But yet it's never good enough, right? You can give your last $100 to these people, and it doesn't mean anything to them. But God help you if you don't give that last $100 to them, then they're all, up in your face because you didn't give them any money. Well, why weren't you grateful when I gave you all that I could give you, right? And it's kind of like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Well, when you are pushed to the dark places and your mind starts wandering to areas that you should not be in, contemplating actions, contemplating ways out to get out of your problems, remember, there's always help. There's always numbers you can call, 1-800 numbers, even 911. I know it may seem like it's the only solution to do what you're going to do, but you got to think of other people in your life that will be affected as well. And really, is it really going to do much? Is it really going to solve any problems other than essentially get yourself out of debt? And what happens if it's not successful and basically you're still in debt? However, you're not able to work to even pay it back. So then you're double stuck, right? It's kind of one of them things, we've all been there in the last little while. Some of us have been pushed over the deep end and tried other actions, other options. And there's some of us that have not been pushed that far yet, or contemplating it, but not have gone there. There is help out there for those who qualify. However, those who qualify are few and far between, because again, they're trying to weed out people that do not need the help, as well as basically denying those that aren't determined to get the help. If you're said no to the first time, don't give up. Keep calling back. Keep going down there. Keep trying and trying. You never know. They might eventually say yes. They might eventually come on through, and then, there will be help for you. I've been through dealing with programs and people in the past, and you almost lose your hair and go crazy before they'll approve you or help you, but yet other people, it seems, they walk in and no problem at all, will pay for a new vehicle for you, pay the mortgage on your house, and even give you money every month to do whatever you want to do. Well, of course, the Maxwell's World and Maxwell vlog crossover that I did has been going okay. It's been a while now since I've been doing it. The videos are doing well. People are choosing to watch what they want to watch the content they want to watch, which is what I was hoping they would do. It brings a whole new audience to the vlogs, as well as does what I wanted it to do with the Maxwell's World channel. It basically makes content on there every day now instead of every second day, so the channel itself is more busy than what it used to be, so that is definitely, a plus there. It's kind of weird how, when you think back on your life, how you thought it would be, how you thought it should go, and then actually how it went. 10 years ago when I bought the house, I never thought I would be where I was at now. I know we've been through ups and downs in the past, but never this much ups and downs for this long. usually it's down for 6 months or so, but then it's back up. And anytime you ever got laid off or lost your job, there was help, or you could pick up another job fairly easy. Well, this time around, it turned out it was harder than what people thought. Some of us should have went out and got a job right away, even if it was a job they didn't want. And some of us went out and got a job, but then end up losing that job because things slow down even more. So pretty much it is what it is. At least you had a job for a couple more months, right? So of course, those of us that have dug our toes in are still around. It might be a dark, cold winter, because it's winter time when the bills tend to get a bit higher. Winter time where everybody's under more stress. In the past, it was winter time where the jobs tended to slow down and there was layoffs. So I don't know if you can lay off more people when there's not people to lay off, or if there's still going to be layoffs even though there are no jobs to boot. So time will tell on that. One thing with winter comes the opportunity to snow shovel. It's great cardio going out there and shoveling snow. Great way to earn extra income, as well as, try to get into shape. Some of us, not naming any names or pointing any fingers, have allowed ourselves to get a little bit out of shape in the last few months. In the spring there, I was going out and riding bike and a few things, but it was starting to aggravate an old injury, so I kind of stopped. And I've been thinking about buying an indoor bike or a treadmill of some kind, but at the same time, again, that costs extra, and extra is extra, right? Well, of course, we survived another month. 1 month closer to winter, 1 month closer to hoping the opening up of everything. I'd imagine eventually things have to loosen back up. I have no idea what causes the economy to be what it is. I don't pretend to know the economy or what it does. All I know is what I am told and what I read, and it sounds like it's a lot of make-believe fear that the powers that be have instilled in a lot of people that tend to believe what they're told. The larger the company, the more assets they want to hold on to. And of course, if that means letting people go, then that's the way it is. They don't seem to care about the family man, as long as the CEO gets their bonuses, and it all works out in their favor. When I was younger, I thought, you try your best, you do your best, you do what the boss tells you. If it means working overtime, coming in on your days off, basically you do whatever it takes to keep that job, and eventually they will notice you. Well, I've come to realize with many years of experience that that's not necessarily the truth. I've noticed a lot of people, they seem to skate by when it comes to jobs, when it comes to employment, when it comes to whatever it is, right? They seem to skate by and do the bare minimum, and they still end up getting paid the same as you, ending up getting the same raises as you, the same hours of you. But yet, when you have a bad day, when you've overworked yourself and you got to rest your back because of a previous injury, the boss freaks out because you're sitting for 5 minutes. but yet they can be smoke breaks or standing around gossiping or whatever, and it's all fine for them. So I don't understand why the world works that way, that it seems that the hard worker person seems to get spat on, where those that don't do nothing, you know, they seem to get the easy job. I don't know, maybe I've always gone into my employment with the attitude as you do the best you can, and the best you can, give it all you got, and it'll all be good, right? But maybe other people go into the employment doing, you do a half a job and only do whatever you feel like doing, and then they'll never expect anything more of you because they figure you're just an idiot that can't do any better. And then every once in a while, you know, you have a good day where you like totally surprise them, but then you don't do it again. Where if you go in there, work the best you can, and you have a bad day, then they're saying, well, you're not doing your job, you're low in production. And you don't understand where this comes from, right? Because you're doing the best you can. You know, this is just a few of the things rattling around in my head. Currently, right now, on the Maxwell's World channel, I'm facing a little bit of a dry spell on videos. I don't know if it's the stress, the big changes going on, you know, the stress of everything, or what, but I get out there with the camera and try being creative, and sometimes it just doesn't go the way that I think it should. Being creative, I have to force it, and then you end up with a forced video. You know, you can tell by the video's quality that it wasn't up to par. And of course, you guys will probably have noticed or will notice a few of the videos coming up where they were again forced videos, and you could tell my heart wasn't in it, but I needed the content to fill the space, so that's why I filmed them. And I've been kicking around an idea for a while with the Maxwell's channel of maybe taking a relook at the schedule of videos. It's been years that I've always kept a schedule of putting videos up every second day. Come whether I had content or not, I'd always make content and well, put it up. So coming into the winter with everything going the way it is, you know, not being able to make projects and such, I've been considering going every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Maxwell's World videos. However, I've got a bit of a conundrum there. I've always uploaded the Maxwell's World videos on even days, not odd days, and the Maxwell's World videos will be falling on odd days, which then will confuse or crowd the vlogs being over on the Maxwell's World channel. So yeah, it doesn't it opens up a whole new can of worms, a whole new series of things to overcome. You never know, right? By the time you get things squared away, things might be better. Things might open on up and be back to where they need to go. I know a lot of people that are in worse off shape than I am, and I thank my lucky stars every day that when I bought my house, I didn't have or get delusions of grandeur too much and go with, you know, a $400,000 house for my first home. Yeah, sure, you know, by all means, it would have been nice to have had a new house for your first home, bought it once, buy her good, and stay there the rest of your life. However, could I have afforded to have maintained the mortgage payment through all this time? Right now, my mortgage payment is less or about the same as rent on a 2-bedroom apartment in this town. Now, with an apartment, of course, obviously you have about a quarter of the space, and you won't have a gas bill or a water bill, so your utility bills will be probably, $300 or so less every month. However, you do give up a lot when you move to an apartment. You give up a lot of space, a lot of control. If something's broke in a house, you fix it. If something's broke in an apartment, you got to submit it to a landlord, and the landlord decides whether they're going to fix it this year or not. In the past, I've lived with mold and water problems, broken windows, bugs and dirts and stuff, 1970s carpet, and they didn't really seem to care as long as the rent was being paid. And if you withheld your rent or went to the rental board or whatever, your renter's rights thing, then you basically painted a target on your back. And then, of course, they wanted you out of their building because you were a troublemaker then, right? So that was part of the reason why I went and bought the house. For obvious reasons, you're building towards your future when you buy a house. You obviously got a yard now, a garage. You can do projects. You can have a bit of space. But, you start entertaining the idea that if things don't turn around, maybe end up taking a step back, selling the house and moving back into an apartment. With the economy the way it is, you probably won't get what you want from the house. However, given the time and economy the way it was when I bought my house, I probably wouldn't lose any money. I may not gain much more than enough to pay off, my creditors and what I owe on the mortgage, but you'll get away free and clear if you call that free and clear. It would be a huge step back, giving up pretty much 10, 11 years of your life. I believe coming up here, it'll be 11 years, so it's like, it's hard to believe that much time has gone by, that fast. Then you're back to ground zero, back to paying a big faceless landlord your hard-earned cash for a dirty hole that they really don't care about. So I'm not quite sure what other options for there. To take in a boarder to board in a room would make sense. However, a lot of people have denned up already in other places. So unless you can offer something that other places don't have, they're not going to uproot to move to you. And at the same time, you don't know who you're getting as a boarder until after you get them. Do you really want that kind of person around your wife and kid while you're sleeping or you're away at work, right? And I'm not saying everybody you're going to get as a boarder is a bad person, but luck of the draw, right? When the economy's tough, sometimes people come out of the woodwork to take advantage of those that are putting themselves out there. Well, pretty much, guys, comes to the end of our Maxwell's Mind. I don't 100% know, nobody knows what the future is. I'm going to try to hang on. I'm going to try to be around for another few months. Time will tell on that. Time will tell on how well things work out, how well things turn out. We could be 6 months away from things breaking, or we could be 1 week. You never know, right? I guess the future is in the hands of the few that seem to make decisions for all of us. And as always, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.